I recently built this monster high school located in Copperdale in The Sims 4. I finished up the exterior in a previous video, so if you want to see me build that, I will link the video down below. But today we're going to be furnishing the interior. So I've gone ahead and done the floor plan so we can get to the furnishing right away. It has 3 floors as of right now, and it's going to have a ton of different themed rooms, including classrooms, dorms, and other fun stuff as well. Also, I actually found this floor plan. It's like a school map. I believe this is a floor plan of Gen 1 though. We built the Gen 3 school because I think it looks cooler. And I think this is user created. This was uploaded by Source September onto DeviantArt, so shout out. We're going to be using this today as a loose guide. So starting off here in the main hallway, this is going to be my picture for inspiration. So I already know that we're gonna need checkered flooring. I'm gonna add some Realm of Magic purpley brick for the wallpaper, and I'm also just gonna quickly go in and brighten it up a little bit with these lights here from Get Together. Ooh, we could also use these chandeliers in green. I'm gonna size these up and place them going down my hallway. By the way, apologies, I did mean to have this up a day earlier. Normally when I do my 2-part series, I like to get them out as quickly as possible, but I had a last-minute family trip to New Brunswick this weekend. And listen, New Brunswick, I love ya. I've been there before, it's beautiful. But when you're there on a family trip and you don't have a car, you're kind of stuck. I was like way up north in New Brunswick, Canada, and we flew there, so obviously had no other way of transportation. I just needed to decompress a little bit after that. But we've got our checkered flooring. I'm gonna start going in and adding the lockers. I noticed in the picture they're actually coffin shaped. There's a lot of coffin imagery in this, obviously, and we don't have that. We're gonna have to settle for these ones from high school years. But since I made my last video, the rumor that we were talking about with the Sims 4 Life and Death expansion pack is confirmed. The Sims posted it on their Twitter themselves, so this pack is also set to launch on Halloween. Are you kidding me? Spooky girls, we won. I'm excited about it. And they also posted this little roadmap, which was tarot themed, and it had like a bunch of occult themes to it. I'm excited. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with it. I'm adding in this wall decor here from Get Together. This is like a club skull flag, and I'm just gonna raise them into the ceiling, so they're gonna be lining the entire thing going through the hallway. So you can see that's what it's looking like. And then in the picture, I can also see some pictures in gold frames on top of the lockers, so I'm just gonna add those. For the high school lot type requirement, we also need to include these speakers, so I'm gonna add a couple in the hallway. There's this sign from Get to Work that kind of reminds me of the Monster High logo, and then I'm also just going to include some of these neon wall decals from high school years. All right, so here is our main hallway. I'm leaving this whole part open because this is going to be a very busy area for Sims coming and going, but we obviously have all our signs up top, our pictures, some of our lockers, which are going to meet the requirements as well. All right, let's next go and do a classroom. I think this one's just going to be a generic classroom to start. And like I was saying in the last video, I don't want this thing to be dark and moody. Monster High is full of color and patterns. So for this classroom, our walls are going to be purple. I'm using these desks here from high school years. I might have to move my door a little. Let's get a chair on there so we can see the spacing. We can maybe shift over a couple of these lockers so our door will be in between the desks, so Sims can get in there like that. We need to cover up this mess we made with the lighting. All of the teeth that we made for the exterior, we're just gonna cover these windows up. And then on this platform up here, this is where we can put our teacher desk. I'm also changing the swatches on some of these, so some of the desks look a little more worn. I also want to add some book clutter on them. The teacher's desk obviously gets a computer, and I think I want to give them one of the fluffy chairs from high school years. Let's add in here a lava lamp. We can get that purple lighting, and instead of an apple on the desk, let's add a crystal skull. This is from Debug Crystal Creations. We could add another little whiteboard. This could be like a schedule. The bottom floor is built on the tallest wall height, so I'm adding streamers to the top here. This is really just to kind of fill the space up there. In the back here, I'm gonna try and fit a big bookcase. This one is from Strangerville, and I feel like these end tables here from Lovestruck are giving like an academic feel. I'm gonna add little candles on there. We should probably also add in some of the high school years posters, so I'm just adding some of those on this wall here too. Actually, I think I might make this here an entire gallery wall. All right, so here we have our classroom number 1. This is just like a generic classroom, not really an overall theme in here yet. yet. We're gonna do those later, but I like it in here. It's so colorful and bright. I tried to make use of these really big walls, and I tried to make sure the floor was pretty clear with the exception of a couple little backpacks in the background, just to make sure Sims can move around properly. But compared to the main classroom in the actual Copperdale High School, this is an upgrade. Okay, let's go across the hall here. We're gonna go do a library. I want to just adjust my doors to make sure they're directly across from each other now. All right, so for this room, I wanted to stack some bookshelves along both sides of the wall. Like they can go along that way, but then I'm gonna take them and put them over here as well. And this way I can stack them and put them behind too. But then I do have some space over here. I wonder what it would look like if we stack some of the bookshelves like this. They're a different color than like the purple ones that I have, but if I can bring them all the way along and we change the swatches, and then we can also wrap them around on the other side. And then up here, I'm adding some streamers going along the top of the wall. I'm adding some occult clutter along these shelves. There's a lot of good stuff from werewolves that we can use in here. And then I did also want to add in some desks so you could do some studying in here. I think I could lay out a couple here so we still have that space behind to walk through. And then maybe we just add a couple more right here. And then everyone gets the alien computer. All right, so here we have our library. There ended up being 5 desks in here so Sims could study if they want to, do some writing, some homework in here. I actually really like how those bookshelves turned out over top of the purple ones. On this side, I sized up some of those base game wall decor pieces. I feel like you could even replace some of these desks with another whiteboard if you wanted to turn it into a classroom too. But there's our library. Let's skip ahead here. I've got some bathrooms in the middle we're gonna do. We're gonna skip past and we're going to create the Clawditorium. This is what we're aiming for. Again, all of their seats are coffins, so we're gonna have to figure that out. And then we have the stage over here. So first thing we're gonna do is raise the stage up on a platform. I'm just sectioning off the area that I'm gonna raise up, and then we're gonna click in the middle and just raise it up by a couple ticks. We'll use the stage platform on it from Get Famous. We're also gonna have to add some stairs on there. I think I'm gonna do purple wallpaper, maybe some wooden flooring. Okay, so we have our stage. I'm gonna add in some lighting. This is meant to be like stage lighting from Get Famous. Get Famous also has some curtains we could use. And I want to put some kind of arch around this too. Like in the picture, there are the teeth going around again. And they also have teeth going around the edge of the stage. Do we think these bean things could pass as teeth? What are these? Yeah, playful magic bean. So, I mean, everyone in this theater is going to be feeling playful at least. I'm going to put these around the edge and see how it looks. I think this could work. Maybe for lighting in the background here, we could bring in these debug items from Realm of Magic, and then I'm going to raise up the orbs in the background. I might add a couple microphones on here just so Sims could actually come up and perform if they wanted to. We could add some amps in the background. What if we also layered these curtains, make them look a little more fancy? And they don't have it in the actual picture, but I think I'm gonna add this rug from Realm of Magic. And now for our chairs. I guess we could try these purple ones here from Vampires. So I'm gonna line the auditorium. I'm again trying to lay this out to make sure that Sims can move around. Imagine sitting in the back row and trying to see over these things. But like they're as close to coffin looking as I think we're gonna get for this. I'm also just layering these rugs down the middle. And in the back, I was thinking of just adding refreshments. Maybe we can add a popcorn maker and like a fountain back here, some book clutter even. And then I'm literally just trying to find any kind of art that I could add in here that's scary. So what if we tried adding some on theme movie posters? There is some from the movie Hangout Stuff Pack and some from Get Famous. So I think I'm just gonna add some of those around. Okay, so here we have our Clawditorium. This room could be so fun. You could have your Sims sit here. I also added the actual podium from high school years. We've got our mics on there. I feel like you could also like clear all these chairs and add a dance floor or something if you wanted to. You could clear it out and maybe make like a prom room. But I'm happy we got to fit all of these chairs in here. And something tells me Sims will spend a lot of time in here. With that ice cream machine in the back and like the punch fountain, you might have to lock the door during school hours here. All right, there's the Clawditorium. Let's move across the hall. And I keep coming back to this picture for some inspiration. So I'm seeing we have an indoor pool on this floor plan. Let's try that next. So I've left this space over here for the pool since I think it has to be on the bottom floor. Otherwise, it'll just take up too much room upstairs. So I'm hoping I can just section this whole part off for the pool. I'm again trying to find some pictures of the pool. So this is what I found. Again, we might end up mixing the generations here a little bit, but that's okay. As long as we end up with a really fun build, I'm happy. So I'm adding some flooring in here. I've also created created some rooms back here for showers. We're gonna add a diving board in here and a ladder. And in the picture, I think I can see some coral at the bottom of the pool. So we're gonna page down into the basement. I've opened up Island Living Debug, and we're just gonna add a little bit of coral down below. I'm just kind of roughly adding this in and then paging up just to see how it looks from above there. We can add some of the starfish down here. Maybe I'll add some sand flooring down below. Okay, so we have our coral down below. In the picture, there are also bleachers, but do we have bleachers? Maybe in high school years debug, because we've got some back there, but those are huge. So what if instead we just add a couple benches? These ones are from Growing Together, because realistically, Sims aren't really gonna watch you swim. So let's add some actual functional items in here. Like we could make a small gym in this corner. Oh, we could use the weird Strangerville punching bags. I don't know what these are meant to be. It says a modified training bot. They actually look really funny. They've got like branches taped to them and like a hose wrapped around it, again with tape. For decor, we're gonna add this from Get Together. It looks in the picture like there are also columns, so I'm gonna add some of those around too. And I also added this neon sign there and moved the pool thing underneath. I don't know how to feel about it though. I kind of just needed something to go there for now. In the back here, I'm just gonna add some robes on the wall. Oh, and look at this little sign. It has a monster on it. Okay, so this is how our pool room turned out. We've got our makeshift bleachers there. Another idea I had was to like raise it all up on platforms, but that would require a way bigger room than we have. So we've just got our little benches. We've got a little bit of workout equipment there. And then we have our pool with our coral in it. The only thing we have to do now is the showers in the back here, which are honestly just gonna be super simple. I'm adding the Discovery University showers in there, maybe with a couple more robes and also a blind for the window. And then we are almost on this first floor. All we have to do now is the bathrooms. These are actually going to be identical, so I'm just gonna add in the flooring for one of them. I'll use the same wallpaper in these from the hallway. I think I'm gonna use these green toilets. So the way I was sectioned off the walls will have room for 4 toilets in each of these. So we'll do 4 there, 4 on the other side, and then we should be able to fit a sink with a mirror right here. And actually I've shifted the door over on the other side just so we can get a mirror and a sink on that side too. Okay, so our bathrooms are done. Here they are on the other side. And that means our first floor is complete. Look how big this thing is. It looks so cool with all the colors zoomed out like that. Definitely loving this so far, but let's go upstairs. The next room we're gonna create will be here. This is going to be the Creepateria. This is what I could find for what their cafeteria looks like. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why there's this black shadow here. I'm trying to like move the lighting around to fix it. And I'm wondering if it's just because we put the bottom floor up on a platform. Okay, so when we're building a high school in The Sims 4, the cafeteria stations are essential. So I think I'm gonna try and add mine right here. I'm gonna add 2. I also just realized I should probably be adding clocks everywhere. I feel like there's a clock in like every hallway in school and like every classroom actually. So I'm just gonna go back and add some of those. And actually also probably some trash cans. And I'll add like a bigger one in the hallway. Okay, anyway, back to our cafeteria. Creepateria, sorry. The tables they have in there kind of look like these ones from Discovery University. And with that, I'm gonna use these stools from Lovestruck. I'm gonna do the same floor plan on the other side, adding our stools there too. Actually, it looks like they have a couple other tables too. So maybe I'll add in some high top tables and maybe these stools could be purple. We're obviously gonna need our trash pans upstairs. I'm adding these statues by the door from vampires. And then I was thinking back behind here, we had some counters. I'm using these lime green counters from base game. I'm adding them on both sides. Maybe we can bring through some more stripy wallpaper. And then I also wanted to add in some menus. These ones I'm using are from Get Together. Get Together also has some of this coffee clutter we could add. And then I think I might also just add in some random posters. Okay, so here we have our Creepateria. I feel like Sims hang out the most in the cafeteria, at least they do in the Copperdale one. So I wanted tons of room for seating. I actually added in some of these awnings again. They're similar to the ones that we had out here in the coffin bean. It's pretty similar on the other side. This is what the other side is looking like. A lot of this is just finding appropriate wall decor, like finding things that match the spooky vibe. We of course have our wall clock over here. I also added clutter and laptops and things on the tables. And then this is what it's looking like leading out to the next main hallway. I've already started bringing lockers in here, so I feel like this is going to be pretty similar to the other one downstairs. So I think I'm just going to bring up the same flooring and wallpaper as I did down there, like the same checkered pattern. I feel like in most schools, the hallways are going to look pretty identical. So again, there we have the second main hallway. And I think for the next room, I want to start to make the mad scientist science lab. So this is what I could find for one of the lab areas, and I immediately thought of these tanks here from Get to Work. I did want to include a whiteboard in here because I want this to be an actual classroom, so I think I'm gonna squeeze this right here by the door. And for the desks, I was thinking about using a mixture of these two here from Strangerville. This Strangerville one actually has like lab experiments going on it, but the thing is you can't actually add chairs to these desks. So maybe we could make it so these are like beside the desks. Like kind of similar how classrooms would have like counters beside them or behind them somewhere for experiments and stuff. So maybe we just rearrange it so our desks are facing this way. We'll move our tanks over to the side. The whiteboard can be over here, and then I can squeeze one more desk up at the top. Okay, now we can bring in the weird stuff like some weird lighting from Strangerville. There are some more beakers and burners. I could raise those up onto some of these desks here. I'm also gonna raise up some of the Realm of Magic potions. So just scattering the desk all over with these. There are some neon signs from Get to Work we could add. Maybe around these tanks here I could add some crystals. There's also some weird decor from Get to Work I can just squeeze in the corner, like pipes. We could add some of the skeletons from Get to Work. And then I was also thinking about sizing up some of these alien posters. And maybe also some of these like warning posters from Strangerville. Alright, so here's our mad science lab. Just a little small one with only 4 Sims in here, but I like that we're making it look clear that there could be a different subject being taught here. Of course, in live mode, we have some of the Realm of Magic potions actually moving around too, which even adds to it. Oh my gosh, and this thing moves too. I don't even want to know what they're doing here. Here it is from the other side, and we're ready to move on from our mad science lab. I'm a little torn here because I wanted to make a big principal's room. As of right now though, we have I think 3 classrooms. We got the 2 inside, and then we still have this one outside. Let's do one more classroom and we can do a smaller principal's office upstairs. I thought it would maybe be fun to make an art classroom, so we could add like an easel near the whiteboard, and then we can add our desks down the middle, and then again we add easels right beside the desks. Like we'll just have them beside the desks there like that, and then I just left this open for movement. We'll definitely need a sink somewhere in here, and I'm gonna add some of these from base game. I just moved this desk up here a little so I could add some canvases in the back. Oh, and we could add some of these. These are meant to be like kitchen aprons, but we could add them in here, and then we could fill the room with some art like this from Lovestruck, these vampire pictures, maybe even this guy on the wall, and obviously these drawings here from base game. City Living also has like paint can clutter we could add, and maybe I can also put down some tarps. Okay, so this is the final classroom we have. This is the art room. Tons of art on the wall. We have the teacher's easel over in that corner. It would be cool if you could actually assign your Sims to do this and like have the teacher mentor them, but worst case scenario, they're still going to be getting their painting skill up in here. This is what it's looking like to the back. I didn't want to add any curtains in here so we could keep the natural light, and I just finished off the second floor bathrooms as well. They're similar to the ones downstairs, and this is our second floor all complete. This is looking so cool. I love looking at the floor plan from above with all that color. The final floor we're going to do, we're moving upstairs. This is where our dorm area is going to be. So we're gonna have 4 of them here. They're going to be shared, so like 2 of them are gonna share. And I was thinking I did do a Create-a-Sim video for Monster High, but there are some that I did not make rooms for. But the first one we're going to build, and the one I saw requested the most, will be for Venus McFlytrap. Venus McFlytrap is a plant monster with an eco-punk style. She loves the outdoors and nature, and she also loves playing the guitar. So for her room, I want to go full green with it, and I think I'm gonna separate all of these off with columns and spandrels. So I'll just add these in from vampires down the middle, and I definitely want to bring in some kind of patterned bed for her. I was actually thinking about this one here from Get Famous, but then I'm gonna surround the bed here with these plant walls. Over top of the bed, I'm gonna shrink these curtains from the Blooming Rooms kit, so we have like a full planty wall back there. I wanted to add these plant walls here right in the middle, just as a little bit of a divider. I was thinking about adding this little cow plant terrarium right beside the bed, but then I was thinking about adding these weird Strangerville plants around too. She is a monster after all. For her dresser, I think I'm gonna use these from Dream Home Decorator. I'm adding in some pink and green clothes, and I also wanted to make use of some of the CDs from high school years for her. So I'm just adding those in and surrounding the shelving that I made, especially this one. There's like a plant collection for the vinyls. I wanted to add this pink and black guitar here. I think I might add 2 of them. Maybe one of them can actually be the freezer bunny. And for the rest of it, I am just filling up these shelves with plants. In the back here, I'm just adding another nightstand. I'm adding a beanbag chair, a radio on here, and as a final final thing, I'm just gonna raise these curtains up into the spandrel. So there we have our bedroom for Venus McFlytrap. This is cool. I've been wanting to build one for her for a while actually. All the plants in here, the color. I feel like I could even still keep adding more plants. Like, okay, one more. All right, there we are. Let's move on to the next one. I think it would be fun to build one for Viperine Gorgon. Viperine is a makeup artist at Hauntlywood. She can be unorganized and messy, and she's very excitable. I again built her in Cas. I think I'm gonna build for all of the ones that did not get a room. So for her room, I think we're gonna go with a pale pink. So I found this bed, but I'm gonna raise up some black pillows into it. And every time I try and build a snake bedroom or anything related to snakes in The Sims 4, I always have such a hard time because we don't really have too much snake decor. But we could try and make it look a little snaky with these lights here, just like bringing in a bit of a snake shape. And then I think I want to give her one of these neon mirrors. And we of course have to give her a vanity. I'm gonna give her the purple heart chair. And since she is a little messy, I'm going to clutter up this table completely. Tons of makeup all over it. I'm also gonna add some of her school books on here. High School Years also has some of this clutter we could add. We could maybe try more of like the snake stuff over here. I'll give her a clothing rack, and we still do need a dresser, so maybe we could try this one over here from High School Years. Okay, so this is how Viperine's bedroom turned out. I ended up going on the gallery and finding this really cool picture instead of the lights that we had. So I added that there. I also added those pictures from Modern Luxe. Over to this side, we still had the sneaky lights and the messy vanity, the mirror over there. And next we're ready to head over for Ghoulia Yelps. Ghoulia Yelps is a zombie. She's super smart and shy. She loves comic books, reading, writing, and drawing. So for her room, we're going to go blue. I'm using blue flooring from Cats and Dogs. And I think for the bed, I want to try this one from Cottage Living. I'm going to add bookshelves going above her bed. We'll add some end tables. But I think behind there, I want to add some art from High School Years. Like this one with like the comic book style art. Maybe this one can go here too. And I think she has a pet owl actually. So maybe beside the bed, we can add this guy here. This is from Cats and Dogs. Over on this side, I'm going to keep the posters going, I think. But maybe this time we could actually use some from Discover University. I'm going to give her this neon green mirror. Maybe for her, we'll give her the tiny living dresser with a TV right on top of there. And also a video game console beside it. Oh, this graffiti has a little skull on it. Okay, so here we have the Ghoulia Yelps bedroom. We have the posters on the wall, the little owl over there. I added some hanging lights going above the bookshelves. And then I also gave her a journal over here with some glasses on the table. On this side, we have the mirror, we have the video games, the TV. And this side in the back here is actually going to be a shared study space. So I'll put some desks in there. She could also do some writing in there. And actually, as a final touch, I'm going to add in this rug from Pastel Pop. And finally, we're moving over to this side. This one will be for Abbey Bominable. Abbey is a Yeti, so she's always seen rocking this winter fashion. So for her, I'm going to give her this fluffy white carpet. I might also do white walls, and I'm going to give her this bed here to match her color scheme. But then we can raise up some pink pillows. There are some snowflake wall decals that I wanted to add in here as like a patterned wallpaper. There are also some snowflake lights, and I think this might look pretty from My Wedding Stories above the bed as well. I'm going to give her one of these mirrors from Growing Together. Actually, we could probably do one on each side. And then Snowy Escape has a snowboard table that I think I'm going to add as a barrier. On there, I'm going to add this ice sculpture. I'm also going to just raise up this little knitted penguin. And I think I'll use the Dream Home Decorator dressers over here as well. Underneath here, there's also these ski shelves that we could put. Then there's like backpack clutter on there. Those are from Snowy Escape. Actually, these could be really cute up top here for Ghoulia as well. I'm going to add some Snowy Escape poofs by the bed. And here we have the dorm room for Abbey Bominable. I'm loving the contrast between these rooms. I added a little candlestick there. I wanted to add a fireplace, but I thought maybe the carpet wasn't such a good idea. I also like that these two are combined with like one kind of punk style and then one dorm as well with a softer style. All right, we only have a few rooms left. What I'm going to do is add 2 bathrooms extended onto here. I need to do the study room. We need a main seating area, like a hall where they can all sit together, a couple more study rooms, and a principal's office. So I've just gone ahead and added the bathrooms here. They're pretty similar, but we needed to make sure we had a bathtub or a shower. I added the combination one just in case. This way they don't have to go all the way to the pool to shower. Same thing on the other side. I added this shower thing. They're both from Parenthood, and this shower has a bunch of different like fun patterned swatches on it, which I thought were fitting. So there's our 2 bathrooms. This is what I ended up doing for the main room. I added a TV in here with the green glow in the background. That is from the Party Essentials kit. I've got some bookshelves here with more backpacks, more clutter. Same thing going on over to this side, just keeping it general aesthetic from like the downstairs. For this back part, I just added some extra study spaces, and then over here is where the principal's office is. Again, way smaller than I would have wanted it, but I wanted to prioritize the classrooms. But we do have a ton of diplomas on the wall. I added one of the fluffy chairs for our principal. We have the bedroom shared study space where I just added a couple of desks in here as well. There's a wall bookshelf to the other side. And then I had a little more space in the towers. So in one of them, I just added these pots. You can make like a little garden in here. And then over to the side, I just added a woodworking table in this one. Here it is again from the top, looking so cool, so detailed. Here is the second floor, and we have the third floor. So that is all I got for you guys. These Sims are walking in, they do not know what they're getting themselves into. Let me know which room was your favorite, and make sure you guys like the video if you want to see any kind of Monster High related videos in the future. Again, if you guys like the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.